And we're live. What's going on, Lynn?
Nothing much. What's up? What's up? Thanks for having me.
First of all, where you from? What do you do? And what's your relationship status?
So, I currently live in Virginia, and I've been raised in Virginia. I do human resources. So, basically, I will help you get a job, help you, professionalism, career development, salary negotiation, anything under that umbrella professionally. I can help you, perfect your career. If you give me the opportunity to. And I am single.
Is there a reason why? Why are you single?
I mean, just because they can't see, they can't read, they don't see this, what I bring to the table. But no, I have been in love once, like very, very seriously. And, it's just honestly, I wasn't mentally ready for that. And, when you fall in love with somebody and you want them to be something that they're not, I believe, I kind of like forced that. So I didn't really like, allow that person to be who they are. Instead of I fell in love with like their potential instead of what they actually display. So, you go through it lasted for like way too long. Instead of being like, let's go our separate ways. We kind of like kept trying to work on it, kept trying to be together, kept trying to be together. And it's like, yeah, we're not happy, we're not progressing. So basically I got in that space where you know, I was confined to one person, only, understood one person. Then when I tried to like date, he was like, I made him like the blueprint or like the standard. So I compared everyone to him, you know what I mean? And he couldn't have, you know what I mean? He couldn't have been the best or the greatest because we couldn't work out, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, that's kind of like at a place where I'm at.
So moving forward from him, he was more like the standard. Like you were trying to the next person you would meet, you would hope that they would resemble his qualities.
The
But you
good, right? Right?
are the
Yeah.
good part.
Yeah.
Well, what good parts are you talking about?
Right? So like the good which in which I thought, like when it comes to my personality, I like to, I love sports. I played sports. I like to talk about sports. I like to go, you know what I mean? So like meeting a guy that like is evenly yoked in that and then wanting to be like, understanding my religion and just having balance like that. That's the good. But the bad was like, the communication part when things don't go, according to plan, when, I'm not doing what this person like wanted me to do, that kind of thing. So I'm like, I would set him as a standard for like the good because I love the good, but the bad I wanted to eliminate. So when I see or meet another man that has the bad, I'm just like, oh, you gotta go, you gotta go. Not even giving them a chance to see their good because I've already seen the bad and the situation I just left.
So you said you didn't do what he wanted to do. Does that mean you were combative?
I could, in his terms, yeah. Yeah, from his perspective, yeah. I
What
was
does that mean from his terms?
I mean like, if you were asking him, yes, he would say that. I'm not submissive. I'm not, that kind of those kind of things. I'm
Are you?
not, am I?
Yeah.
Well, I will when I get married, and to my husband I will submit when I feel like protected and empowered and supported. Yeah, but not to a boyfriend, not to a sneaky link, not to no. I'm not submitting to any of those. None of that. No.
But he wasn't a sneaky link, was he?
No, he was my boyfriend, but still, that's not a husband. There's clearly a difference, and there's a level of trust, communication. Like then, when you feel like that's a stage you get to, you know what I mean. I'm not, and I feel like yeah, you just don't just submit because he says so or because you want to be in this relationship for long term. I feel like my body will feel when I'm at that place where I can take that deep breath and feel safe. and I will rightfully submit in that moment. But no, I have not been to that place yet.
So how long into the dating process should a woman submit to her man?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question because I don't know if it's like a time frame thing because some people, they know when they meet the person, I guess, or they feel safe when they meet the person, or you know what I mean, they have like beautiful love stories, or some people, they have to get so much accomplished, or the man has to get so much accomplished, or the woman has to get so much accomplished for her to feel like able to submit. So I don't know. I really
How
don't
long how
know
long
like
was
the
your
frame.
how long
What'd
was
you
your
say?
relationship?
Oh my gosh, like I can't like be specific because then everybody's gonna know who I'm talking about.
Okay, well, was it longer than 5 years?
Yeah, yeah.
So, oh my god, 5 years and no submission? You didn't feel safe?
I mean, because it was like off and on. Like we would like hit a spot, and then it would be like, okay, we're not gonna do this anymore. We're gonna like lead our other lives, give other people a chance to be with us, and then we're like, shit, they not like they don't make me happy like you make me happy. We're back. So it was like a exhausting like you know uh sequence of events, like a just going around in circles. So no, I was never. I would get to a place of like extreme happiness and extreme low, and just I don't know, if I've told myself that, but I feel like it shouldn't be like that. Either I love him, and then when I get mad, it should be like here. I shouldn't be like two great extremes of like
Right.
high and low, so no, I could never feel like this is it. No.
Yeah, me and my wife, we showed each other, husband and wife qualities,
Hmm.
when we in our beginning of our relationship, beginning of the dating stages.
Okay.
So we could, you know, paint a picture of what to expect in a marriage.
Hmm.
You think if people would do that early on, they wouldn't waste so much time?
Oh yes, yes. But it comes with a level of like I think healing too, and then understanding what you want, and then not wasting time. Like it's like a character trait, honestly. Like if you come into a situation, like I'm not, bringing any baggage. I'm coming into the situation and I'm ready to move forward. I know what I bring to the table. I'm confident in that. And then like you're saying, like you probably had a plan. You know what I mean? I get excited when a guy like looks at me and then he has a plan for me and he's like, "Oh yeah, I seen you. I wanted you, and I want to do X, Y, and Z." Then it's like, then you're like, oh, "Okay, well, we'll see where this can go." And that's what
Uh-oh.
it kind of sounds like what you and your wife, have done. I feel like, as knowing her, the type of woman she is, she's not like gonna entertain those conversations without knowing like there's something that's gonna be positive here. And the same with yourself. I feel like you were confident in that. Like it's able to, you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say,
Well,
like I
see,
that kind of thing.
well, you think that a man should show a woman a plan before she show that she's submissive?
Yes,
Or should it all
absolutely.
happen? You said yes?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I like that. I don't want to feel like I have to run the show or like let you know something. Like I want genuinely I do want a man to lead, but I don't want to tell you to lead. I don't want to adjust and show you that I'm ready to be led. Like I feel sorry, they're like they love
Yeah,
me
it's
right.
cool.
My
But
single self,
isn't that isn't that like isn't that like clear communication? Isn't that like a good thing? Like to have clear communication early on, especially, you're dealing with your heart and your time,
Oh
possibly
yeah.
having children. I mean, some guys maybe don't want to lead.
Mm.
Maybe they want it to be a tag team, 50-50, responsibility, Me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I'm a leader, so
Mm-hmm.
I showed that right out of the gate, but I can understand what you're saying. But let's just get to the first question.
Okay.
So, men are saying women lack the ability to choose the right man.
Mm,
Have you experienced a relationship where you chose wrong?
absolutely. I've chosen wrong most of my relationships.
Most of your relationships.
Yeah. 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 Pretty much.
So what happened to the ones that you chose right?
I haven't done that yet, so you got to
So
pray.
all of your relationships you chose wrong.
Mostly, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly or
All. I'll be
all of
specific.
them?
All.
Okay.
All.
How does that happen? Like you sound like you know exactly what you want. You
Yeah.
want a guy to lead, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
how does it happen that every time you choose wrong?
Again, like, I think it goes into like me being a lover for the underdog, me being, optimistic about the future or somebody changing or giving them the benefit of the doubt. So I'll go off by like what they say, willing to like work with them to get there, knowing like I've seen this before, I've done this before, this may not, be good for me. But I still will, go be led by, a sheep in wolf's clothing.
So you're being finessed.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is it? So let's paint a picture of this. What does it look like? Okay, you're out, uh, you meet a guy, and how does that conversation go? How does it conversation go that makes you believe that, hey, this is worth trying?
So like
Like,
the
what
confidence,
are some
because
of the things you listen for?
like I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know like what makes you happy, or just asking me stuff deeper than like with skin deep, like not just looking at my body when I'm out, not just complimenting my appearance, like asking me stuff that's like something that you'd have to ask other than what I mean, just showing some depth in the conversation when it comes to like just different stuff that you find it intriguing, like when I'm having a conversation with you, like looking into my eyes, that kind of thing. And then I'm like, oh,
Mm.
okay, okay, so he's not not here just for this, even though we're out, even though this type of setting, he could be wanting something other than that, you know what I mean. And then I'll tell them like what my interests are, like, oh, they'll be like, yeah, so what do you do for fun, like outside of, or they ask me like what I do, you know what I mean. I think that's like a, or they ask me like my religion. I feel like that those kind of questions are like, oh wow, okay, so that's different. That's something, I could continue this conversation further than you buy me a drink, you know.
And are those the same? Are you is that your same thing you use whenever you're trying to gauge whether or not this guy is worth dating?
Well, not dating, but like taking it past and allowing them to like either get like my social media or a phone number, that kind of thing, to take it
Or get
step.
them draws? No,
I'm
come on
saying
now.
I'm dangerous, so I'm saying I had to
Hey.
step back and change from that too. I have a 10 and an 8-year old, so I had to like chill a little bit,
Mm.
So,
So
so
this is pretty much the template you use when you go out and you vet a
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you've been using this. Have it ever come to your mind to after a number of times it hasn't worked to maybe try to
Mhm.
shift it or change it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely a one that's always open for like constructive criticism or someone to critique or like be accountable for like what I'm going for. And I always try to like revamp or like listen more, or don't be so, maybe hard on that first conversation. Maybe the one who was actually like giving me a compliment on my parents. Maybe he does too, but he's just acknowledging what he's seen first. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I, captured his attention. So yeah, I mean, I try to adjust in that setting. I feel like my deeper rooted issues are like when I start to develop like that conversation or that rapport with them, and I start to like see things I don't like, I'm quick to like not really want to talk it out. Like I'm like, yeah, that's it's a couple of red flags way too soon, way too early. We should,
So you
continue.
seeing the red flags to get out, and
Yeah,
you just letting it go past.
yeah,
We got a
yeah,
lot of tolerance.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's cool. Sorry, that's my son. But that's cool to have some tolerance. But if you see the red flags and you can confirm that, hey, look, this ain't for me,
Hmm.
then you may want to add that to your template and peel out.
Right, right. No, really. Yeah, that's
So
what I.
you,
I think maybe I don't, because honestly, I don't feel like I have that big of a tolerance. That's why like I end stuff so frequently or so like quickly. So I don't feel like I honestly have
hold
a
on. So
tolerance.
you say you end relationships quickly?
Like yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I've only had one to the honestly to the magnitude of like was close to like 4-page love letter or anything dynamic. So like everything else I would like was not worth anything, because I've chosen wrong. So I've known that they weren't that much, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I feel like if I did have like a maybe a higher tolerance, or I was willing to settle or accept certain things, then I would engage in long other relationships. But I'm just so like honestly, it's a lot of factors. It's like the financially, the emotionally, me bringing something to the table. I want to be like matched. Like if I know that I can pour so much into you, once my cup is empty, are you gonna like replenish that or reciprocate that energy with me?
And that's just financially, right?
But all of it, financially, emotionally, physically, you know what I mean?
How does a man replenish you emotionally? Like, how
Because
does
I mean,
that even
I think because I mean honestly, because if you have days where you're overwhelmed, everybody will have those days. Like we want so much on our plate, we want to leave legacies behind for our kids, we want to continue to grow, right? And some days you're gonna be like emotionally drained. Like, am I doing enough? Am I worth enough? And I want to know that I could. That's my safe haven. Like my man, I could tell him like, "Yo, like, I wanted all this, like." But am I doing it right? Like, am I weak? Am I like, you know what I mean? Like, is it okay to cry? Is it okay to like step back, to scale back, to like take some of these contracts out of my business? Is it okay for me to put a pause on getting my doctorate, or do I look like I quit? You know what I mean? And a man to tell me like, cry, get it over with, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But then get back to business. The same thing I would tell him. You know what I mean? So.
so these men that you've been dating, they haven't been emotionally available in a
I mean,
sense.
but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt again. Maybe, like, they don't know how to because I come off so strong that, like, I'm good. Maybe they feel like, oh, I ain't got to tell you to be good. You ain't never shown me that you was weak, you
And I'm
know?
starting to see a pattern. I'm starting to see a pattern of you not being open when it comes to communication. Like, you
Oh,
don't have
yeah.
that transparency. You're more like
Mhm.
a, "You should know, you should reveal it,"
Yeah.
"How I feel." Why do women do that? Why can't women just say, "Hey, look, this is how I feel. Can you help me? Can you be there for me? Can you, allow me to vent to you? Can you help me with these things emotionally?" Why women can't do that?
I mean, that's a good question, but it's reality because it could be many factors and fear of the response and fear of, not being like, we already have what we want to, hear, right? So if I have what I want to hear and I'm anticipating that you won't say it right, like that's already, a failed mission right there. There's already a failed conversation right there. I've already told my brain like he should know. He knows this and that. Why doesn't he know this? You know what I mean? So it could be a lot of things. A fear of the response, a fear of, not being supported, that kind of thing. I don't know. Because for me personally, you're correct. I feel like a lot of things I leave unsaid because you should know.
And I gotta ask, this might be a little bit too straightforward, but before you find out that this guy doesn't have the preferred communication style you like,
Hmm.
do you find this out after you already busted open, or
Why do you think that I'm busting it open?
I'm
But
just saying because
um,
a lot of people wait to have these important conversations. They didn't already
after
lay down on their back.
no, I mean sometimes it's like, yeah, sometimes it'll be after, like, yeah, we were in the cupcaking phase, we were attracted to each other, we had like a lot of mutual interest, but now it's getting serious and you can't balance a checkbook. You throw me off, so like I don't want to do that. I don't want to, go any further because I already have a son. I don't want to raise another man, like,
Yeah.
so that kind of thing. So yeah, so
And
sometimes
and
like,
when you say balance the check, at that point, you're talking about financially, right?
yeah, yeah,
Says
yeah,
the woman who work in human resources that can get anybody any job with any level of
absolutely.
salary. You should be the plug.
I mean, absolutely. But at the same time, it's like I want to. I don't mind elevating. I don't mind supporting and encouraging, but I feel like it should be like a this, not like that.
Why not? Because I mean, men do it all the time. Why can't a man just come pay the light bill?
I mean, I don't. I
What
just
I mean, just look at. Let me paint this picture for you. What if this guy's
honestly,
emotionally
I blame
available?
it on how I was raised.
So how were you raised?
But go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
So this
I'll
guy
tell you. Go ahead, say
this
what you're
guy
gonna say.
is putting it down in the bedroom.
Uh
He's
huh.
emotionally available.
Mhm.
He's transparent when it comes to communication the way you want it to be.
Mhm.
But his pockets ain't deep enough. He could pay the light bill though. Is that a good I mean, he'll be a great father, a great stepfather. I mean, is that
Mhm.
cool?
Yes, yes, yes. Because that's potential, right? So you're crossing every other T and dotting every other I. My thing is with like disrespect. And like you can't lack. It's only 10 boxes to check. You can't lack six of them. That's my thing. So
So
I
you said that's his potential, but why do you gotta put that on him? When you say potential, does that mean that you expect him to later on improve or elevate from where he is now?
yes.
Because I mean, and if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, ma'am?
30.
You're 30, right?
Yes.
And what age range do you date in?
Um my age and my cutoff is like 43.
Okay, but between 30 and 43.
Yes.
So most of those guys, maybe not the 30-year-old, but for the most part, most of these guys they're already at their where they are.
Right. Right.
So if this guy's showing you, hey, look, this is who I am. I'm a good guy. I got that good D. My pockets ain't that deep, but I could pay the light bill. This is who I am. Is that enough?
No, because I feel like my ministry is growth. It is to want more, to have more. So if I have somebody that's complacent, I really won't do well in that relationship.
So you got a strong deal breaker on this man's ability to provide.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if you put a ceiling on yourself, what kind of ceiling can you put on us? Because I want us to come together as one. You can be an individual, in your life with your friends, as you have your own identity, but together we're going to be powerful together and unite as one. And the type of, I people think, oh, look at me, oh, you're accomplished, you're this, but I barely scratched the surface of what I'm going to be. So I definitely would never let the person I pursue or that's pursuing me, think that where they are now, that's where they're going to stay, you know?
Yeah. So you have 2 kids
Yes.
and you have a strong deal breaker that this man needs to provide.
Hmm.
Or is it safe to say that both of your kids are a package deal?
Yeah. Yeah.
So not only does he gotta provide for you, he's gotta provide for kids that ain't his.
Yeah.
So how do you think men feel about that dynamic? That deal?
I mean, it's to each his own. Honestly, that's why you approach at your own risk and like be realistic. Date within your bracket. If you can't like afford it, if you're not willing to strive to afford it, and I'm not saying, and because you know what I mean. 9 times out of 10, based on my age, the demographic, and where I reside, I in actuality make more money than the most of the dudes I'll date anyway, or out here that I would be, subjected to, and I've
So
dated.
how
So
do you
it's
expect them to be able to take care of you, their expenses, and your kids' expenses when you already, like you said, you make more than most of the guys anyways?
Well, because at least because it's like a mindset, you know what I'm saying? So at least I know that they're wanting to do more. Like they're
Oh,
not
so they
gonna
just gotta
say,
I wanna take care of your kids, but I can't.
well, like, okay, so this is the thing. And it's not just financially, it's about like emotionally. Like, do you read books? Do you exercise? Are you healthy? Are you religious? Are you
Shoot, I
like
can read all day, as long as I ain't
yeah,
gotta.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like a list of
So
things,
it's a
but you can't
trade-off.
black and all of it. Yeah.
So if you ain't got a bank account, you better be reading some damn books.
Or so, you know what I mean? Just like something. You have to bring
You
something
gotta
to the
do
table
something.
besides just your iPhone. Like you have to bring stuff. You
And
have
you know
to.
what? I think that is one of the reasons in your template that might be messing you up too. Because one of these brothers is coming along, he's reading books to your kids, he's beating the cheeks up, he's in there flexing like Terry Crews, but he don't really give a damn about your emotions.
Yeah, and they're not, yeah, clicking enough with the yeah.
So you letting them in. I think you're letting them in with hopes that he may change. Is that safe to say?
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
keep
yeah.
saying
Absolutely.
potential. That means at a later stage, he's going to become a better man.
Yeah, yeah, but not just for me in our situation, for himself, because that's what will last longer. Because that's the thing, they get in, they want to do this, they promise this, oh, I can do that, but then it like will fall off if maybe I'm not giving them what they want. So then it's easy to be like, well, I promised all these things, but I'm not about to do it. So I mean, that could be it too. I don't know. It's like a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm just,
And let me guess. Let me guess. He got to be tall too, don't he? I heard your son say
yeah,
you tall. You can reach everything. How tall are you, man?
I'm 5'5".
How
My
tall he
son
got to be? He
is.
got to be. Dude, he got to be 6 foot.
I mean, it just would make sense.
Oh God, it would make sense. Help me understand that. It makes sense.
I'm just kidding. I really don't like have height requirements like that because I've dated my children's father is probably like barely 5'10". And my ex is close to 5'11", so that's not really true. Just
So
my
you haven't even. You
ideal
haven't.
person.
So you haven't even. You probably have dated a guy that's that tall, but for the most part,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
longest relationships have been with people under 6 foot.
Right, right, right.
Okay, that's what's up. Because there's words on the street. You got to be tall, man. Guys are getting the knee surgery, leg surgery.
I don't know. I mean, like, this is not realistic because honestly, I used to do that too. I used to only, like you got to be a certain guy or a certain look or a certain build. I'm not even like entertaining your conversation because I have like a look that I like. I have a, complexion that I like. I have, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah. So like,
All right, let's go to the next topic.
all right.
All right, so this topic is about women's best dating age. When you before
Mm,
I ask this question, when you see this topic, what do you think we going to talk about?
The dating age? I don't even know. That's just so broad. Like, what dating age? I guess when you're more the most flexible or the most available. I don't
When you
know.
say
I don't know. That's a
flexible, do
good.
you mean physically?
No, I mean, like, like, you don't have a lot of restrictions on date night. You don't have a lot of restrictions on location, and you could pull up
You
wherever.
don't have a lot of bodies, maybe. I don't
Oh.
know. No, let's just get right into it though. So men are saying it's better to date women before they hit their 30s.
Mm.
Now
Mhm.
you've dated in your 20s
Mhm.
and in your 30s.
Mm.
What's the difference?
Whew. In my 20s, I'm young, not developed, not really knowing what I want, still figuring things out.
Hold on,
Um,
wait. You said you're not developed.
you know what I mean? Like, just kind of like in my early 20s, like, it was like a rush thing. I had my first kid at, 19. So it was like, I'm like trying to get it together. I'm like, oh man, dream deferred. I lost that. I have to work now. I have to put myself through school. Like, everything was like quick. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm having fun. I don't want to get tied down. I'm in this, situation. That was going to be a family, but that fell apart because of unforeseen circumstances. So like
Let's talk about that.
20s.
No, I'm just kidding. You ain't got to talk about it.
But yeah, it was just like 20s is, you're like figuring yourself out. You're figuring out your profession. You're figuring out like what you really like, and who's you're gonna be your crowd. And then 30s, you're more like, okay, no, bye. Like, it's easy to be in your 20s and be like, oh, I dated him, I went through that, I did that. But in your 30s, it's like, yeah, if you went through it more than once, like, obviously you're not paying attention. Like, you're missing something. Like, 20s is, it's easy to say like, oh, I was young and I was dumb, and oh, I loved him. But now, like, in your 30s, it's like, okay, well, knuckle up. Like, each generation is getting wicker and wiser. Like, what are you not paying attention to? That's how I feel personally about, growing
Yeah.
older.
So
And
you say you had a rough upbringing. I don't know if I got the words correct, but did your I mean, you want to touch on that just a little bit as far as the parents dynamics, like were both parents at home?
yeah, so no, no, not a rough upbringing. Basically, I was saying I blame my upbringing on how I look at men, because both my grandfather and my father both made less than my mother and my grandmother, yet they paid for everything. They both own homes, they own land, they own cars, and they ran the household. They protected, I've seen what a man should be. Like, they stood firm in what they believe in. They stood for something. They didn't go for anything. Like, literally, my father made less than my mom, but he was financially stable, like, to the 10, like, literally, like, still
So
to this day.
why didn't you pick men like your mother picked?
Because they, you know what I mean, and they're not out here. I haven't met any yet. I haven't met any that could do
You
that.
just said everybody in your area where you work at,
I haven't
they
met
make
no, no,
less
no.
than
I
you.
have not met a dude that could do that. I have not met any dudes that could do that. I've no, no, no. They make less, yes, but I have not seen them be able to, stretch that money, invest in that, own that, pay for that. No, 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 no. Making
So
less, yes.
so
But
on average, for the most part, where do you go when you go out to hang out and chill, nightlife? Like, or what do you go out like? Where are you finding these guys that you're dating at? Is it out, on the night? Was at the gym, at work?
all
Is
of
it
that.
the first one? I'm
All of
talking
it
about for the
at the
most
gas
part.
station, at the everywhere I go, it's like like leaving off a college campus. I'll see somebody different. So it's like it could be at the gas station, it could be picking up my kids from school, it could be at the grocery store, it could be at the bank, it could be at one of my sites that I'm donating to. It could be out like when I go to the brunches on Sunday. I like to go to brunches. When I go to church, after I go if I go to a second service at a visiting church. Like this everywhere. Like I don't discriminate to the
At
location
work too,
in which
right?
the men is met. Oh no,
At,
no, not at work though.
not at work. Oh,
No,
why
no.
not?
Because I'm in a leadership position. So like I can't date any of my constituents. And then anybody in leadership on my board is not in my culture and they're not male. So I can't date any of my peers. And then I wouldn't
That
date any
sounds like
colleague.
a very small company.
No, well, no, no, no. Well, I mean, no, no, no.
You ever go to like networking events? You ever look those things up where
Yeah,
people
yeah,
conferences and stuff?
yeah.
You don't
I
meet.
belong to the Black Commerce Chamber. I just got
Oh wow.
inducted into that. I do the NAACP for women empowerment. And then I volunteer with our supervisors locally. The supervisor Angry, and I don't know if you heard about, you don't know if the other one from Montclair, Andrea Bailey. So like, yeah, I mean, but it's just it's working. So you don't want to like mix that because I want to be like continue to grow my business and my platform. So I don't really want to come off that way because I want to make connections based on my mind and what I bring to the table. Other than that, so I really
So
don't
so
try
let,
to do
let me
that.
ask you. You stated something interesting. You said women empowerment.
Yeah.
When did you join that?
Oh, like a while ago. I think I like started.
Lights out.
I
Clap
keep
on.
getting
Clap
off.
off.
Sorry. I'm on my phone. That's why. But probably like I met them at the mental health walk here in Dumfries. Almost.
Dumfries. Wow, I just moved from out there.
Yep, yep. It was almost like 4 years ago. So like I do like different like Alzheimer walks, mental health things. I'm really, really big on mental health. And yeah, yeah. So I've been with the this woman empowerment, coalition for a little while now.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking because eh, from my observation, it
Mm-hmm.
seemed like women join these women empowerment groups and movements
Mm-hmm.
whenever they typically become single mothers.
I don't know because a lot of the leaders are married, and a lot of the women in the group, mostly, like honestly, in the groups of the conversations of the board that I'm in, all of them are married. I think I'm the only single one.
Wow. That's a totally different perspective or different outlook that I had. I mean, everyone I've seen and the ones online are all like scorned or
Oh,
or whatever. But hey, it's a
oh,
big world. So
oh no, no, no. I don't really, honestly, I don't really think women like I haven't met them. Lord's willing, I don't meet anyone like that. But I haven't really met women that are scorned, honestly. Like even me, like I've been through some stuff with guys, but I don't hate them. I don't men bash or black men bash or none of that. I haven't had a successful, relationship history, but that's just me. It could be what I'm doing. So I don't really know about the scoring thing, honestly.
so
Cause I
your
mean,
father's is your father, you still communicate with your father?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
And he's in
he goes back and forth because he's originally from New Jersey too, so that's his love. He's there majority of the time.
word. So
Yeah.
he's still with your mother, right?
No,
Oh
no,
no.
he's
Oh,
not.
oh wow.
Yeah, but he still whenever she calls, he still handles his business, and he has another, you know, uh, he has a girlfriend, but he still, takes care of my mother as needed, and he's.
Well, I'm sorry it didn't work out, man. Most of these cases in our community, Parents
Yeah.
are breaking up all the time. It's just
Yeah.
keep happening. But I was gonna say, like, have you ever asked your father for any advice on dating men or choosing men?
Kinda, but him and my grandfather, they're the same way. They treat me the same way. They don't really believe that I should date. So they're not.
What? Can
Yeah.
you explain that?
Yeah, they don't like my grandfather. He was like, really, my grandparents were married like almost 65 years and they passed within 3 months of each other when due to the COVID pandemic. And that was like the relationship that I longed for. But I would always talk to my grandfather about like, my dealings. He knew like who my high school sweetheart was and situations like that. And he would just be like, so like, oh well, you don't really have to date, or you shouldn't, just be happy with you and continue to, finish school and all of this. Like, yeah, his feedback was never like, oh, okay, like, listen to him, or, work it out, or yeah, he called here looking for you, and he'd forget like different stuff like that. He would tell me, oh, someone called here, or you got a letter from somewhere while I was in school, and he'll be like, it'll be weeks later, and he'll be like, oh yeah, oh well,
So
yeah.
he said you shouldn't date,
Yeah, he's not a fan.
and your father said say the same thing.
Yeah, my dad isn't. He doesn't care to talk about it either. He's
What I wasn't talking on the lines of talking about your relationship issues with him, but
Yeah, yeah.
more on the lines of asking him to
Advice.
help you choose a man.
Yeah, yeah. They don't no. Well, my grandfather's deceased, so like maybe it would have changed now. No, but that was just 2 years ago. And he still felt the same way. And then my dad still to this day. Like I talked to him about my previous relationship and stuff, and he's just like, well, you're
Wow,
happier
that I've
without
never
it.
heard of that. Like,
Yeah, yeah. He's
I
like that with
usually I would think that if your daughter come to you and reach out and like, "Hey, dad, I'm struggling out here and I can't find the right man and look what's going on. I got these 2 kids.
no,
Can you help me figure it out?" And you telling me none of them want or your dad don't wanna.
no, no. Because okay, so because that's the thing though. They don't look at it like a single thing isn't, looked at as a struggle. And I'm like happy and I'm like exceeding my goals. So it's not like that. And I don't come into him like miserable. Maybe it's like my approach, because I'll just say like, oh, this would happen, and I wonder like why this continued to occur. And his feedback is just like,
But
very
you said you
subtle.
exceeded your goals.
Oh, I
So
exceed my goals. Like if I have a goal and I'm like, oh, Lindsay, I want to, you got to do this, and I do it. So it's like I'm not like lacking or like sad or like lonely. You know what I mean? Because I'm so like, and that's the reason why like my relationships I fall apart or like I walk away, is because I'm just so used to like getting it done and handling it on my own. So like me having to gel and mesh with someone and make decisions like together, I'm just not really like used to that. So it's gonna be like a transition or an adjustment for me.
you think if you were younger than 30, you would be getting into a more relationships frequently?
Yeah, if I was younger and I didn't have children, I probably would like relax my standards and be like more open to like going through stuff or like listening or like adjusting. But like since
So
I
you're saying basically you're saying if you didn't have no kids and you was younger, you would Lord have mercy, what's going on here? It's like breaking in the house.
oh, I thought
You
it was like
would
a band practice over there.
repeat. You gonna be a repeated offender.
No, not repeat. I mean like I would just be
If you could
more
take it
like,
all back to you can take it 10, 15 years back. No kids.
see,
You're
this is the
telling me
thing
you would
though.
relax your standards.
Not relax. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't, because again, I wouldn't take my kids back though, because it makes
You
a
know
better
what?
person.
I'm just hypothetically speaking though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though, but like, yeah, because I just be more open to like going through something with somebody. Like I'm not about
why
to
don't we
go
just
through.
say trial and error?
Yeah, like I'm not like open to doing that in this stage in my life.
Obviously, yeah, you're at an age where the trial and error could be more damaging,
Yeah.
more kids. So, is that typically how I think I'm starting to understand a pattern. Typically,
Mhm,
women are willing to take their body and their hearts and their emotions, their mind, and spirit, all that through trial and error in their younger years by
mm.
just testing it out, and just trying things until it hit. And then whenever they have the kids, then they get humbled and now they have these strong standards. Is that what's going on?
Well, I don't know because some girls, I mean, it's to each his own. It depends on how hard reality hits you or how bad you want to do better. Because some people got six, some people got four, some people have three, some people never learn, some people don't think what they doing is wrong. So it
Mm.
just, I mean, it's to each his own. Like me, it made me better mentally. Like if people knew the Lindsay in high school and the Lindsay now, they'd be like, you two different people. Like, and that's facts. And that's because of my kids. And that's because of my responsibilities. Like, if I quit today, it's over with. Everything will fall down. Everything it's a wrap. I have
If you
nobody
quit
to
what?
do it.
If you quit your job?
Yeah. Yeah. If I quit anything I'm doing that I got going on, it's over with. So I can't like invest so much in a relationship that I don't know, what the end goal is. Because my kids are priority. Leaving the legacy is my priority.
So, there's a way you could invest in a man without having to sacrifice all of your priorities, and we could get to that in just a second, but
Hmm.
from your understanding, what are the reasons you think men prefer their women to be younger than 30?
So they can brainwash them, so they could, manipulate them, so they can, teach them bad habits. So, so, so they won't have a lot of miles on them. I don't know, because they start early now. So I don't know.
So let me be a little specific with the age gap.
Hmm.
Let's say a man who's 40
Ooh,
preferring a woman who's 25. Is would you say that the reasons he want her are the same?
mental. They are
To
number one.
brainwash her, to manipulate
Mental.
her?
It's the mental. It is. Number one is the mental and, the body structure. Sometimes, there is a lot of baddies that are older, but then, some of the younger ones, they putting it out there for less.
Well,
You know?
let me see if I can paint a picture if I was the 40-year-old talking
Hmm.
to a 25-year-old
Hmm.
or explaining the reason why I would prefer to date her.
Hmm.
One of the reasons would be, okay, she's young, and if I wanna have kids, I don't have to worry about, geriatric pregnancies. Uh, she doesn't hasn't have an extensive past, given her age, being in her
Maybe.
20s.
Maybe though. Maybe. You don't know
Maybe,
that.
but the chances yeah, you're right. There could be, but I'm in a better position dating somebody who's impressionable
Right.
versus somebody who's in their 30s. And when I say impressionable, I wouldn't say in a negative way, more like somebody who's willing to learn something new or grow, to accept a new understanding. I think once you get to a certain age, you might not be open to a new way of thinking. But when you're in
Mm,
your 20s, like you said, you're willing to go through trial and error.
mm,
Man, me being a 40-year-old, I'm seasoned, I've been to some
mhm,
things in life where I'm able to remove the error part of it, and
mm,
I would just have trials going.
mhm.
So, the woman who's willing to go through these things is willing to accept a new way of thinking. I think that's why a lot of these men are wanting to date a woman who's younger than
Mm.
somebody who's so-called stuck in her ways,
Right.
and, she becomes incompatible because you can't really push nothing through her
Just
path.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Mhm.
she's more open. So those are some of the reasons. Obviously, being young and fit, uh, that's icing on the cake, but that's not really the main part. It's just finding somebody who's willing to grow with you. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then statistically, when you go to that side of the scale, and once you start dating younger women, chances are lower that you're gonna meet one that has kids. Because a lot
Mm,
of these guys may not
right,
want the woman to have kids.
right.
But brainwashing, manipulation, maybe oh, there you go. Brainwashing, manipulation. You got a motion light over there, don't you? Gotta keep
Oh my
moving
gosh,
around.
my phone is just like ringing like crazy. I need to find my charger though.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah,
so so I mean, I'm not putting it past some guy that will do that, but I don't think it's on a large scale enough to give it that much credibility for, your first response is manipulation and brainwashing. Yeah, that happens, but I don't know if it's happening at a rate where that should be the first thing you think of. You get what I
I
mean?
mean, I'm just saying from my perspective, like
Oh, okay.
clinically and through my experience dating older men, and I know like through how they treat me and how they got over it, excited thinking. Then when they start to hear my brain, they're like, oh, like I thought,
What's the
I was
oldest man you
gonna be.
dated and how young were you? First, let
That
me rephrase that. What's the oldest man you dated in your 20s?
whoa, that's a personal question.
Oh Lord.
But
Mm.
oh wow, he was like in his, he was up there, pretty up
What's
there,
up there?
like this NASA.
Was he 50?
Yeah,
You dated a 50-year-old man. How old were you?
22.
22, he was 50? And you said he was trying to manipulate you, brainwash you?
Yeah, so like that's why I got that. When I say stuff, it's based on my experience. He was like literally wanting to, you know, take over my perspective. He wanted to like just like you said, because you're impressionable. Like you don't really have a lot of bad habits. Just like in a job, you would go there and they like to hire people with no experience because you have no bad habits. So
What was
he's
he trying
thinking
to brainwash you into doing or thinking?
like, oh man. Thinking like, whew,
Well, he didn't get there, obviously, so it's no so I'm trying to understand it. Like,
yeah.
I surround myself around the guys around 35, to
Mhm.
50.
Yeah.
Some maybe older than that.
Mhm.
But whenever they're dating younger girls, I never hear any conversations or anything about them trying to brainwash or manipulate.
Cause that's so harsh, and then that's so like direct. Like
Extreme.
nobody's gonna say that. Like, oh yeah, I'm talking to this dude, so
I
he could
don't
be out
know.
his
If you know
pockets.
some of the guys I hang around, they will say it all, and I'm
Oh,
telling you.
okay. Well, I'm just saying, like maybe like the terminology is just different, but like a lot of times it's because you want to step into that leadership role. How easy is it to be the leader if they're younger than you? How
Well,
easy
let me see if I can throw you a bone. I do hear some of these men say, "I wanna make her into a wife," or, "I wanna make her
right,
into a homemaker."
right. So you
Is
can
is
mold
that what
her.
is that what you mean by manipulate, brainwash?
Well, yeah, kind of, because if it's something forced without their, say so or their agreement, that is manipulation. That is force. Like you can't make somebody a wife that was clearly trying to have fun. That's when you
Well,
get
it's
the
well, it's
oh
not it's not force. You're just kinda molding her
right. So
to do it.
you can't
She still has
mold
she
something.
still reserve her choice whether or not she wanna be molded into a homemaker.
But again, it's the taking the pros with the cons or the good with the bad. Like a woman, a lot of females will be taken care of, but in the back of their head, they're like, this is, I want to get to a certain place and then exit.
Well, let's look at what force look like. Okay, example. This is what you call force. This is what you call it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
the 50-year-old. You're the 22-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
God, can we do 45?
Oh
Forget
my
it.
gosh. See this one?
I'm the 50-year-old. You're the 25-year-old. And I say to you, hey, look, I got a 6-bedroom house and some nice cars. I'm retired. I got a few properties over here. I got some investments going on over here. I got a couple of companies over here that I run. I like you, you know what I'm saying? I like the first date. I want to marry you, you know what I'm saying? And I want you to leave your job, come over here, travel out to California and stay with me and I want to have some kids. And you just stay home. You don't need to be going out to the club, you know what I'm saying, and dressing the way you dress. I want you to change the way you dress. I'm gonna put you in the finest things. You get any car you want. You go shop anywhere you want. But you just got to stay at home and take care of the house while I'm out doing my thing. That is what you call force.
Correct.
How is that? How is that not what? Okay. If somebody approached you right now today at your age
Mm-hmm.
with that offer, would you take it?
No. Because that is being sold off what you have and not who you are. I bring enough to the table. You're not, I'm like, I don't have to change the way I dress. I'm already conservative. I'm already a lady.
Well, those are
I
those
don't
were just
already go
those were
out. I'm
just
already
examples.
giving grandma. I already sit in the house. And then I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's just not natural. That doesn't last. And then it's going to be a Mr. Big situation. We're going to be creeping with Mr. R. Kelly next door because we
Oh,
don't
now you
like,
look. Now you trying to paint the now you trying to add all the negative stuff to it.
but because that is
But
negative.
you
Like,
just
literally,
but you see what
why
you
would you
did. You see
ever
what you
want,
did though. You proved my point. You proved my point. At
but why
this
would you
age,
ever want to
that's
be
a
in a
meal ticket
situation
for
with
that's
somebody?
that's a meal ticket.
But
You
you don't
wouldn't take
want a meal ticket. You want love. You want
how do you
something
know
that'll
how do you know
last.
love doesn't how do you know love doesn't come with that?
Right? Because obviously you have to, it has to be so, you just was like a car salesman. You had to sell me the dream to even get me to buy. So like that's, yeah, no. Like why
So
can't that come later?
how else is it done without how else does a man supposed to pitch himself to the woman he want to marry?
Because
He's
it's
supposed
not
to
a
tell
pitch.
her.
That's the thing. It's not a
You
pitch.
said you said in one of your relationships, you wanted a man to take leadership.
Right. Have a plan. Have a plan incorporated with myself for my, not uh guidelines, not
So
a
what is
rule
the
or syllabus.
so rephrase the offer that the 50-year-old would give to a woman by incorporating the plan that you're insinuating.
Everything that you said besides what I'd have to do. Like you can't give ultimatums. Like you have to dress. Like no, you can't tell me how to dress. No, you can't tell somebody to stay home. Like why would you dim someone else's light? What if she's a designer? How's she gonna, build up her
He's
clientele? What if
trying
she's
to
a gardener? What if she can't go
okay,
outside?
so he's trying to give you a better light.
Okay,
And you can see his fruit. The fruit that he bear is plentiful. And you're telling me
correct.
as a woman in your stage with 2 kids, a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old,
Yes.
that you wouldn't take that off. And
No.
you said that any man you date is a package deal. And this man is willing to do that. You just got to be submissive. You
Yeah,
tell me,
no, because that's not like, that's not natural. I rather meet him as a peasant and then he like is a prince on the low. Like boom, pop out like haha, it was a whole joke. Like I'm actually the king of blah blah blah. And I'd rather
so you
fall
rather
in
meet
love.
these men not being themselves, not being who they are,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah. You can be yourself, but I want to love you first. I want to care for you first, and then we could talk about, you know what I mean. Like I
what
just,
I'm
I'm not
trying
gonna
to I'm
grow to
trying to
love.
help you. I'm trying to help you rearrange your template because the template you had was the one you just said, and you ended up with your 2 kids.
No, 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 no. I didn't have a template for that. That was not the game plan. I did not. No, I didn't have no template. I didn't. No, I wasn't even swift enough to know that there was a template at the time. I had no, not at all. But I just don't want to grow to love. I don't want to somebody to be taking care of me, and then I'm like, oh, I love you because you've done this, or like I want it to truly be. Okay, my phone's about to die. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah, you can go ahead and change it real quick. Hey, what's going on? Matt G in the building. What's good, bro? E, the man Williams in here. Yeah, I haven't been on live in a month or so, maybe more. We got the intellectual soapbox in here. Appreciate y'all showing up. Dating and marriage support. Terica Smith, Marcus Evans. Man, yeah, long time no see. Man, it feels good to be back on here, throwing some content. I got some big things coming. So y'all just stay tuned. Look for the face. Face is gonna be everywhere soon. But you got an Android or Apple?
Me? iPhone.
Okay, I was just making sure. Because you got that clap on, clap off.
Ooh, it was. I'm telling you, all the calls are coming through. I should have did it on my laptop, but I'm just lazy. Just
But I'm
lazy.
really trying to figure out what it will cost you to find love.
Whew.
And you say you're okay with being single.
Yeah, yeah. Because I
Is
wanted to
that what they
be.
teach you? And is that what this women all you're a part of a women empowerment group. And
Yeah,
you say most of the leaders are married, and most of the women in
yeah,
there are married. And you're
yeah,
telling me being a part of that, you could say those things out of your mouth.
yeah. I mean, because I don't, because I have a lot of examples of what I don't want.
Mm.
So yeah, but they say a lot of good, like, encouraging stuff. A lot of women, from they're older. I do gravitate to, like, older women because I like wisdom. And I like to hear stuff, and a lot of them are like, yeah, the situation was bad, and I molded him, or I did this, and I took him under my wing, or I helped him start a business, or I took in his kids, just different stuff, and yeah.
Yeah. So you ever feel like you may have to lower your standards
No.
if you keep aging before you find a relationship?
No, because I feel like what God has for me, it is for me. So I won't have to, like, adjust or, like,
Oh man, that is I believe in God. But I just don't think that what you just said is kind of harsh.
I
Think
just feel
about it.
like, I don't know. I just
I
feel
don't
like I
think
really,
God has loving relationships for some people and not for some others.
I mean, I don't know, because I don't really want to question his works, because a lot of people, he put certain people in people's lives for, like, a season. If he lets certain people go through stuff so other people could see it as a front show to help them, to elevate them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. So yeah.
Well, I used to think that way. I used to listen to this song, this R&B singer named Amanda Perez. I think you old enough to know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
God send me an angel from the heavens above. Sorry about my voice. I was sick. I could sing that thing though. But
Well, I can't sing. I can't sing. Mm-mm. I'm
see,
not a singer.
there ain't no such thing as can't. You just gotta go put the work in.
Everybody thinks I can sing because my voice is, like, deep and raspy, but no, I ain't gonna hurt nobody feelings like that. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, but I used to think that. I used to think that if God wanted me to have a wife or a mate,
Mhm.
and he would send it to me, but I just I think it was foolish to think like that because I started to understand as I got older
Mhm.
that God equipped everybody, with the same opportunity. I mean, obviously,
Mm.
some people are born, incapable of doing things that others are, but
Right.
for the
Right.
most part, that doesn't have anything to do with, what God gave to mankind. He
Right.
gave everybody the same traits. You know,
Mhm.
should you choose to use them the way that you know you're supposed to use them as optimized for finding a mate, then you'll find a mate. But
Yeah.
if you don't, then there's that. So
Yeah. And that's another reason too. Again, biblically, I don't believe I'm supposed to find one. I thought they're supposed to find me. That's how I was always taught too. So I never I don't do any of that.
yeah, I mean, I heard that biblically too, but there's nothing wrong with seeing a brother that you find attractive, and I think what I would do if I were you, I would just try to be friends with somebody real cool, like be real cool with a guy, so you can learn how he is, learn how he thinks, outside of trying to be intimate or romantic with him or have any, emotional connections with him. Just try to be cool with somebody first
I tried to
and
do
see.
that, and I had a best guy friend, and then he tried to make it something else. So,
And
because I'm
then
very a homegirl type shorty too. So,
he tried to make it something else.
yeah, like we were best friends. Like clearly, he is my best guy friend. He dated my sister. He dated
Oh,
my cousin
oh,
sexually, and then tried to pursue me, and then tried to flip it as, "Oh, you're attractive. I'd be sweet if I didn't go at you." Like
oh man,
weirdo.
he was just trying to knock down the whole family.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Damn,
Yep.
that's tough.
So yeah, I tried that because I'm definitely a homegirl. I'm definitely I like to do
Well,
that. I like
well,
to.
well. I would say still try it, but just don't
Okay.
try to be friends with the dude who knocked down your cousin and sister.
No, we were friends first. I introduced him. I introduced him to them. So we have
Mm.
longevity. That's how I don't use that term loosely. Like he was my best guy friend. Like this was starting when I got my first big girl job. We met there at the the workplace together. We established a friendship, and then I'm he was going through relationship stuff. I was like, oh, I know a good girl for you, blah blah blah. Then
But that typically happens, though. I mean, that typically happens. I can't tell you how many times well, I'm not gonna even go there. That typically happens. If you bring a man that's cool with you, he's just your friend,
Mhm.
around women, beautiful women,
Yeah,
what is he supposed to do?
he's supposed to, and indeed, he was more than welcome to. But understand, after you date anybody that I'm related to or have a closeness with, I'm never available. I'm always off limits, and
Right. So
so
this is the only male friend you had.
the closest friend I had, like the closest, I
Mhm.
have plenty of guy friends and stuff. I played sports with men and stuff, so and I work out and different things like that. So, but he was the closest,
Yeah.
and that relationship was because we knew the most about each other. We
Right.
knew so that was the kind of the meat and potatoes to wow, there's no morals, or there's nothing that's off limits at this point.
All right. So if you look at the dating culture,
Hmm.
what might be some reasons men refuse to marry at the rate they aren't?
Ooh, um, ooh, oh man, there's so many factors of that because some dudes want to be financially stable before they start to find out they want to find out who they are before they pursue who they're going to be with, or they're hurt, or who they wanted isn't available, so they don't want to settle. And then just many factors, and then they think, oh, some are true about it, so when they do get married, they don't want to cheat anymore, they don't want to be in two different households, they don't want to lie, they want to be accountable. They want to be good men, and they feel like they haven't got to that place yet, mentally, physically, so
That's
emotionally.
that was a new one. I never heard that one. You said they were hurt, so the one they wanted to marry is not available. I never heard that stop a man.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because it depends on the character of the man. Because some men, they probably do really have a strong upbringing. So if the person they can't marry, you know what I mean, they don't marry because they're not gonna settle. And then some do, like some can't marry who they want to marry, so they just marry who's available, or who they, or who is not gonna make them go through what they went through with the other person, who's more, lenient or understanding, or
So
you
let me
know.
ask you this. Let's say you meet the guy, the ideal guy you want. And he's checking all the boxes. I think he said 10 boxes or something.
Yeah.
He's checking 10 boxes.
Mhm.
Okay, now let's not give him that much. He's checking 9 boxes.
Mhm.
But hey, he's gonna marry you. But you're gonna have to sign a prenuptial agreement. You cool with that?
I'm gonna have to sign a prenup.
Ooh, why the face?
Why am I why am I signing a prenup?
What do you mean? Why are you signing a prenup?
Because that's basically you're setting the tone for our dynamic, and why, what you're saying about me as a woman. Like, yeah, so when and if this falls apart, you not taking nothing from me. So no, yeah, no. So then all you and your check boxes and your prenup can go marry somebody else.
Oh shit. Really? Is that how you feel about
Absolutely.
prenup? That's what you think
Yeah,
prenup?
I feel like that's extremely like disrespectful. Unless you're like, hey, I've been here before, this is my third time type something, like you have a plausible explanation for giving me one, then absolutely, yeah.
So you're saying it's disrespectful for a
Yeah,
man to ask you to sign a prenuptial agreement?
absolutely. Especially me, yeah. Yes, it is. 100% kiss my ass. Yeah. Yeah. It's given, not given, not getting married. Yeah.
So when is it okay to sign one?
I'm not signing one. Unless, maybe like I said, it's
Oh,
like his
so
third
it's
marriage.
you're not signing one.
No, I'm not signing one.
Why you won't sign one?
Because I'm not in it for the money. Just like I wouldn't move to Florida with a dude with this 8 bedrooms. So obviously I'm not in it for money. Obviously we're getting married because you are the one for me. You spoke to my soul. What you have has nothing to do with why I'm standing here. So you handed me a prenup
Who's your
saying,
celebrity crush?
um, he's playing horribly right now, but it used to be Kevin
You better
Durant.
not say LeBron.
Oh, I love LeBron. Shout out
Stop
to
playing
him.
with my man. KD
He's
is
brilliant.
a god on the court. Stop playing.
He is a grandfather on the court. At this point,
Nah,
he's
man.
giving
I can't let you
retired.
do it. Look,
He's soft as a batch of cookies. Did you
that's your
just see
celebrity
him
crush?
play? He
KD,
used
all
to
them
be.
bucket shots in his head. No shot
He
at.
used to be. See what I mean? Because I loved him for what in here. In here.
Oh, you haven't even got there. Okay, so look, Kevin Durant's your celebrity crush. Okay.
Not anymore.
Okay, who's currently your celebrity crush?
I like, Derek Luke and Anthony Edwards. Yeah.
So you like NBA players.
Derek Luke is an actor and
Oh,
NBA. Yeah, yeah. Anthony Edwards. Yeah, he's an NBA player. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so let's go with Derek. Let me look at Derek. Look, who the hell is sorry,
He
apologize.
played Diddy in Notorious. He was in Antoine Fisher. He was
Oh,
in
him.
I Can Do Bad About Myself. Yep. Couple of
You
things.
like the dark skinned dudes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Chocolate covered lies.
All right, so look. All right, so Derek Luke.
Yeah.
Man, scratch that. Let's go with Anthony Edwards. He got a big paycheck.
Ooh. Word.
Anthony Edwards. Say, hey, look, I like you. I'm feeling your vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I see you got 2 kids. You know, you got precious babies. I'll take care of them like they my own.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to sign that prenup. What you gonna do?
No, no, I'm not signing a prenup.
But he made all these things. He's a made man before you. He's got to.
Yeah.
That's his only protection.
Why would you marry me if you need protection from me?
Oh my God!
No.
Where you been? What world have you been living in?
This
Let me ask you,
I that's the thing though. You can't
how old is your
compare
son right
me.
now?
You can't
How old
compare
is
me.
your son? How old is your
My
son?
10.
Let's say he turns 19, 20.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at going to the NFL as a defensive lineman or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Middle linebacker or heart
Middle
surgery
linebacker,
if they need.
NFL. They looking at him. They want to pay him 20 million starting out.
Mm-hmm.
He get that 20 million.
Mm-hmm.
He meet a girl. He love her. You know, he want to wife her up. He say, hey, can you sign this prenuptial agreement? She say no. What do you tell him? Do you tell him not to make her sign that prenup?
I'm gonna tell him to talk to God about it because that's his
Oh
business.
God.
That's his business. Because honestly, the
There's
way
no way
my
you
son
gonna
is
set
set
your
up,
son up like that.
he's gonna be locked in. I'm telling you, there's my son, he's gonna be locked in. He's gonna have a good wholesome girl. So that's up to him. If that's what he feels, then that's what it is. But he probably wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. And I don't know. I wouldn't interject on that unless it's something that he's doing that I don't see fit. Honestly.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how many other women in the world you think in the United States think the way you think about prenups?
Um Probably a couple because a couple of them got dropped because they didn't sign the prenup, right?
Scale
Because the
from
girl,
1 to 10, couple two, so 2 out of 20%.
no, I mean, I probably it's probably a great deal because a couple, like I said, a couple of girls lately been in the media because they were offered, they were told to sign a prenup, and they were like, the dude that played for the Cavaliers before LeBron got there, he was getting married to a girl, and he said, I told her to sign a prenup 3 months before, and at the wedding day, he called it off because she never signed it. So, like, I think it's a thing. I think there's a whole lot of people that feel like that
But
because that's telling us that, oh, you're in it for the money, and when this falls apart, you're not getting none.
no, that's not what
That's,
it's like.
that's basically what he's saying. Like, I don't trust
Have
you. I
you
gotta
looked at
protect myself. If you scared
have
about
you
all of
looked
that,
into
don't marry me.
have you looked into some of these prenuptial agreements?
I've only looked at two. I've never
Which
made it a
ones?
thing to
Which
research.
cases?
I seen
Did you look at the Tyrese Samantha Lee? Did you look at that one?
no, I've never seen that one. No, no, I've
Yeah,
never seen
you
that
need to
one.
go. We check out the lead attorney. Shout out to my man, the lead attorney. Check out his latest live on Samantha Lee. She came on a podcast, talking about her divorce, with Tyrese Gibson. Me and him,
Okay.
went to the, I don't know, it was the first hearing. I think maybe like the second or third
Mm-hmm.
out in Fulton County, and we sat in on the trial. Uh, but his prenup was basically screwed over by the arbitrator. So they
Oh
went into
wow.
arbitration, and it got messed up. The wording got messed up, saying that, look, hey, look, we all pay our own attorney fees unless it's a contested divorce. So
Oh wow.
the wording just got screwed up.
Right.
But the prenup is things that you might wanna protect things from yourself. What if you earn more than a man? What if
Yeah. I mean,
did you see how Mary J. Blige got done?
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't think she
yeah,
should have had a prenuptial agreement?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you got 100 million sitting
Mm.
on you and there's a man making 75,000 and this man checking all 10, 11, 12 boxes, and you want to marry this man, you're not gonna make this man sign a prenuptial agreement?
No, because I
Mm.
don't want to go into a situation protecting myself,
And
protecting anything.
I
Like,
think that's
why?
another part of your template that you got to change. You have to protect yourself out here, sister.
I mean, like, but why am I dealing with you? Why are you in my space if I have to like protect myself?
You
Obviously,
have
this is not it. This
who's
is
gonna
not a thing.
protect you? Who's gonna protect you if you don't? You said it earlier. If you quit, everything can fall apart.
Right. So that's why I'm in this single space, because the only person I need to protect myself from is I don't even worry about that.
So you have a fear. You want to be, you want to be morally, you want to be moral, you want to be reasonable, you want to have a relationship without expecting failure, but you got to think of your marriage or relationship as a business. You got
Mm,
to have some type of insurance, you got to have some type of uh protocol, you got to have a contingency plan. You got to have something. Every
mm,
plan has you got a plan in case something happens, you know what I'm saying? You build a
mhm,
house, you got exits, you got um, smoke detectors, you got motion detectors, carbon monoxide, you got all these things. You don't
mhm.
say, "Oh, I'm going in the house. I don't need all this protection. Why would I get in the house?" You have to protect yourself. So that's a part of the template I recommend adding. It's just thinking about it. Hey, you will be surprised, man. Some of these prenups are if it's me and I'm a ball player, if I got 100 million, I'm dating a woman. I'm gonna get her to sign a prenup. But if I'm married with her over a certain amount of time, like 10 years maybe or whatever the state law is, I'm gonna make sure in there that hey, look, I'm gonna divvy out this amount of money per month, for the rest of your life or until you whatever the state law says. I'm gonna be reasonable.
Mhm.
But the prenup is allows you to have control over what happens instead of the
Right.
person, the judge. It allows
Right.
you, not him, you and him to set the terms on what you want in the prenuptial agreement. I mean, I'm telling you, what really is killing these guys, it's not even that. It's the kids that's really killing these guys.
Yeah.
Can't you can't shape those terms.
Right.
It is what it is on that. Them kids gonna get you.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah. Well.
But I'm saying, like, I would say one of the main reasons from my observation is why men are walking away from marriage is because a lot of women don't agree with the same terms on how marriage is supposed to be. And it could be
Oh
prenup,
yeah.
it could
Yeah.
be traditional, modern, 50-50, whatever you want to call it. It's
Right.
just they don't have the same expectations on how a
Yeah.
marriage is
Yeah.
supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, again, to each his own. To everybody experience things differently. They grew up in different households. You know, their values are different. Like you said, their traditions are different. So it's and that's probably why the older generation like to mold somebody. They want to instill in those values, create those traditions. It's easier to do at a young age.
So I got a bonus question I gotta ask before we end.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, and I always find this interesting. Women answer. I'm not gonna ask you about your body count, trust me. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate yourself?
What, like, for what? My looks or what? My
Mhm.
looks? Oh, I'm it. I'm
It,
it.
like, Pennywise?
I'm sorry.
You said you it.
Yeah, I'm it. So you didn't even give my
That
number.
was
You said
funny.
1 to 10, and it's not really. It's not applicable. You didn't give me the number on there. Off the charts. Shout out to my grandmama and them. I am at
So, is
10.
it off the charts going past 10 or past 0?
Past 10. Past
Dang.
10.
Why do women well, hey, look.
Why do
So you
women what? Why do women
okay, so what do you rate Beyonce?
she's a 10. She's beautiful.
But you're better than Beyonce.
Yeah, because that I mean, I'm me though. So Beyonce is gonna rate herself high as well, because that's her. I'm
Hey,
not
don't hey,
Beyonce.
listen. Hey, Beyonce, no shots at you. Hey, look, don't hey, you might get an email or DM or somebody Beyonce want to talk to you on a live stream, try to correct you on that one.
She is. I mean, she's her. She's beautiful. She's her. But that's everybody should have their own self confidence within themselves.
All right,
So.
bonus question number 2. What do you think about the Will and Jada thing going on?
Oh yeah, that's tough. That's really sad because again, we're the outside looking in, and it's just Very embarrassing. I feel like I'm big on don't discuss the business outside the business, and keeping stuff in the household between them people. And I feel like he's endured so much, but I feel like honestly Will probably has done a lot of damage early on, so he feels like he has to tolerate this damage currently, or this, negativity, this backlash, this embarrassment now, because he's like, whatever transpired earlier in their marriage. Because if, they always say that she cried for like the first few years of their marriage. So I don't know if it's like a guilt thing for him. So he's like, oh, I'll endure this to make sure, to cope with you, or to make you feel better, or to, to right my wrongs, or whatever, that kind of thing. But
Oh,
it's just very embarrassing, because you don't know how your kids take it, what happens to your children based on that dynamic. And that's who's suffering too. It's not just them. It's not just him. So that's just a very, very unfortunate situation for two extremely talented black, people. Again, something that they're in the media for, that's not a have it around. And why she did, turn out to be the vocal point, is having that red table. That was like awesome that she came up with that. That was so sacred and so, refreshing that she created that platform. But then I didn't know you were gonna use it to embarrass your husband, because that's, so that's just it's just unfortunate. But yeah, just
yeah, I don't like active marriages. I can't say that I really talk or speak on those as much.
yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of wait to get my 2 cents after it all falls apart. But
yeah,
I mean, all I can say at this point is, I mean, they're husband and wife. You
yeah,
know, people go through things, maybe not as worse as theirs, and maybe do. A lot
yeah.
of people may go through the similar things, but that's just not exposed to the public.
Right, right,
So what do? I mean, if you still love your wife, you stay with her. If you still love your husband, you stay with her. I just hope that
right,
that's what happened.
right.
That's
Me,
just me. You still
yeah,
love each other. You still want to be with each other.
right,
I don't care what nobody else say in the public. That's your
exactly.
wife. That's your husband. Make it work.
Yeah,
Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't been together this long.
right.
Just
Yeah,
figure it out.
yep.
Yeah. But
If
I will
that's
tell you this. I will say this though. Will Smith's network is way larger than hers. So
mm,
if she do leave and she want to take a chunk of everything he got, she could do it.
mm, mm,
And I think that's another one of the greatest fears of why men are walking away in marriage whenever you don't have that prenup set.
mm,
Um, yeah, there's this thing about Tupac. Yeah, there's this thing about August Alsina.
yeah,
But that ain't nothing compared to her taking everything you work for in your
right,
career. So,
right.
yeah. But if you got any questions for me, this is your chance.
I'm I wanted you to say something like enlightening, like I wanted to have a revelation about like my
All the
my
stuff, all the
plight, because
gems, like all the things I exposed for you, you telling me I ain't say nothing like enlightening?
I feel like, you were just referring to my template because you feel like I had one for so long. And I'm telling you, I wasn't that swift that early to have one, to have my kids. Like, my kids were, given to me to, like, to save me from self destruction, honestly, to
Are
build
there are there
character.
father are there fathers in their life?
No, well, yeah, I don't want to talk about him because he's on vacation.
You don't wanna talk about him because he's on vacation? Oh, wow, you don't wanna ruin his vacation?
Yeah, no, because because, it's a permanent vacation.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
And no, I
That's
don't believe in
unfortunate.
child support either. I'm never going to tell a man to do something that he shouldn't actually want to do on his own. So, no, he's not signed up for TANF, any of that.
Mm,
No.
well, I can say this, how old are you again?
30.
30. What school did you go to high school in Potomac?
Yep, I went to Potomac, Christ Chapel, and Hilton. I
Did
played
you go
ball.
you went to the house you went to high school with my wife then?
Yeah, we played ball. Well, no, technically we didn't go to high school together. I was there first. I played at Potomac first, and then I switched. Her, Tisha, and everybody did the switch when I came to Hilton. They went to Potomac.
Okay. How
Yeah,
come I
I
never
was there
seen?
first.
How come I never seen you in none of the events that she had at and when we have over her house in Dumfries or our parents' house in Dumfries?
Cause I have children. I work. I was in school. I was,
Yeah,
yeah, having to establish myself, and
you be
you know.
grinding.
But I seen you guys at the because you guys did invite me to a couple things before you moved to Atlanta.
Yeah,
But I think the only thing I went to was at the parents' house. I think it was Dad's birthday,
yeah.
and that's where yeah, I
Did
think
I
that's
see
the
you?
yeah.
Oh shoot, man, you were there. I was wondering, like, man, oh, man, you look familiar.
Yep, yep,
But
yep. I
yeah,
was
so
there. I have longer hair, bigger
cut it all
body,
off. You said better body,
bigger.
bigger body.
Yes,
Oh, you was a little heavy.
yes, yes,
Yeah, you
yes.
was a little heavy. You did slim down.
Yep, yep,
Man,
yep.
you were hit. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
That's
I
hilarious.
was, and that's fine because I.
So you get okay. So now there you go. There goes your there it is. You slim yourself down.
No, no, that it wasn't by choice.
no, I'm saying.
It
Oh,
was
was it a
not.
medical issue?
Yes, I had a drinking problem.
That's why you couldn't come to the events. You too busy drunk.
That was no, that was
Getting
not it.
toasted. So look, you 30, um, stay in the gym. I mean, go to the gym if you're not
Hmm.
already going, and just try to have an open mind. You know, like uh, don't be so stuck in your way. I would try to really reach out to my father and try to break that wall he set up against you. You know, you got brothers?
Yeah, but not really. Not they're not like birth. Like my dad
Oh
gave
yeah,
birth to
don't
them, but like grew up. Like we grew up together. We were really close. He was in the
got no
household. My
uncles?
dad raised him. Yeah. What'd
You
you
got no
say?
uncle? You got no uncle in the military? Sergeant major? Somebody?
Oh yeah, several of those. They're worse. You don't want to know how the men in my family treat me when it comes to like relationships.
What did they
I don't.
say?
They don't think I should be in one. They don't like that. They don't believe it. Yeah, they don't.
Man, you gonna have to come down
Oh,
to
just
Atlanta.
wait. Have you met my little sister?
No, did I?
Probably. She played ball at Hilton all 4 years. She did extremely well, and she doesn't. She's yeah. She's
Me and
even
Chuck gonna have to
higher
invite
on
you
the
down
totem
to
pole.
we're gonna have to invite you down to Atlanta and Lord have mercy, these boys in Atlanta might be worse.
Yeah, they are. Well, because I really don't know what team they play on, honestly.
Man, you in the DM hold on. Oh Lord, I know you ain't just say that.
Oh
You in
yeah.
the you you in the
I'm right next to Chocolate
DMV.
City.
You in the
But I
DMV.
yeah, no. Atlanta
There
was
should
I
be
mean
plenty
Atlanta
of
was a
guys.
good time, but it was dangerous.
Are you willing to date outside your race?
Yeah, no, I'm lying. I'm lying. I haven't graduated to that yet. I'm lying. I'm lying. I'm lying. I'm mm, yeah.
You might have to date outside your race.
And I haven't even dated another complexion. I haven't even yeah.
You just want the chocolate dude.
I mean, no, because no. I'm lying. I don't even know. I
What
don't even know.
about have you dated the opposite?
Yes. Yeah.
How did it go?
Horrible. They're even worse.
Oh, hold on.
They're
Are
even
you
worse.
dating the one that got the strappy joint?
No, might as well date a dude.
So how
Because
did
I'm very,
are you dating the one that looks like a dude or like the one that looks
no, I might as well date a dude. No. The only two relationships I've been in though were like the same as me. Like feminine.
yeah, I heard the word fem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we gonna have to work with you on that one. See where we can help you. You in the DMV, there's a lot of brothers out there that's making some good Man, I know a lot of brothers that's making some good money out there. You got a Marine
Right.
Corps base out there, all those military guys.
Right. And then you meet them, right? So it's like it's a disconnect. Again, with probably my template, like you said, it's a disconnect. Like I'll meet them, they'll have a lot going for them financially. So that's that box they check. So I know they can provide. But then mentally, we're not connecting because it's like, why are you not thinking there is, like prejudice out here? Why do you think there's not social injustice? Why are you not giving back? You have this platform, you're educated in this way. You don't think that you need to reach back sometimes or educate or uplift the other generation? Again, this is my perspective. I haven't met all 500 dudes on Black Wall Street, but the ones I have come across, like, it's like they're misguided or a misconception of how they got where they are, why they are where they are, and they're not understanding, like, maybe, sweetheart, you're here because you're privileged. If somebody else had the same, you know, opportunities, location, backing, support, opportunity as you, then they would be where you are. Because a lot of them are not humble. A lot of them are not, yeah, just,
So are you saying that these men should remember where they came from and reach back out and show appreciation to the community?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, I've dated two guys, and I let it like prolong. I've been, came across more than one, maybe a handful, but the ones I did pursue to that level or allowed to date, they were like very, very like upper like crust kind of thing. And I'm like talking to him like, hey, yeah, so I'm gonna get this contract, but I'm gonna do it on a volunteer basis because I want to just help these girls, just to put some, give me some confidence, put some, um ammunition or something under my tool belt, just to say I did it. So I got like a couple homeless shelters, and I don't charge them for my services. So, and then his feedback was like, you shouldn't be doing anything for free. They're just gonna, take advantage. They're gonna do this, or, just in a negative. And I'm like, well, they don't know what they don't know. So if you haven't been exposed to better, then that's probably why they don't want better. That's still not their fault. And yeah, so like that kind of thing is, those kind of things are like off putting to me when it comes to,
There's a
yeah.
lot of guys out there that do have the same principles and beliefs behind,
I believe
reaching
so.
back and helping out, helping the community. I think you most definitely gonna run into them. I just don't think that it's kind of fair to push your principles on a man. Uh, I don't think that should be a deal breaker. I think that may be something you can work with, getting them to understand, but expecting them to have that out of the gate is, a lot of people come from. Shut up,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
A
But
lot
that's
of
the
people come
thing.
from different backgrounds. So, like,
Yeah.
the background I came from, oh Lord have mercy. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
You know, um, I was born in '86.
Okay.
I think crack just hit right around
Mhm.
80 or 85, something like that.
Yep.
Uh, and the drugs just ruined the community. I mean, there
Right.
was no community. There was no
Right.
place
Right.
where you can go to and like, okay, this is where we came from. And when we go somewhere and we get our wings and we fly, we need to come back and reach back. There's nothing to reach back. When you go back there where I used to live, it's an abandoned house.
Mm.
The houses are boarded up, the streets are high crime rate. There's nothing going, no business, none of. So it's
Mhm.
like I came from the mud. You could say I came from a place where there was nothing, none of the stuff, nowhere where I came from pushed me to where I am now.
Right. Mm.
I had to go and run into friends, that I was in school with, that I played basketball with, football with, and their
Mhm.
parents looked at me and said, "Hey, look, man, we noticed this kid is coming from this circumstance. Let's try to make sure, since he's hanging around our son, let's try to see if we can guide him,
Yeah.
to get to similar places, that our son is gonna go, so he
Right.
can be successful in life." And that is who I go back to. That's
Mhm.
my community.
Yeah.
You know, I love my people, but
Mhm.
I feel like we're scattered out. You know, we have our
Yeah.
own way of thinking. We don't think as a group
Right.
economically. You know, I don't even think we think as a group politically.
No.
Uh,
Right. Right.
we don't have this. We don't have black people don't even have their a soul relationship dynamic that they or principle that they look to. Everybody is taking the same principles or beliefs as other races and just
Right.
doing what they want. And you should
Yeah.
be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just that's why it's hard for me to go to somebody and say, "Man, you gotta remember where you came from. That's your people go reach back." Yeah, if you
Yeah.
got it in your heart, then yeah, go back, get back. There's
Right.
people out there that's unfortunate, and it'd be nice for you to give to them.
Mhm.
But you gotta look at the people who created that society and
Mhm.
ask yourself, well, all these billions and trillions of dollars floating around, why haven't any of them getting back?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's a I
Mhm.
think it's I think it's a fix. I think it's set like that. You think you're making some progress,
Right.
but is just another family or another person that's gonna fill their space once they get out of it. It's a fix that has to be there because it creates a balance on how the economical dynamics of America is supposed to be when
Mhm.
probably any other country. And I kinda understood that. I understood that in how all these dynamics flowed into the courtrooms. You gotta have a number of people in jail. You gotta have a number of people going to get divorces. These attorneys gotta get paid. The judges
Mhm.
gotta get paid. Their retirements gotta get the police departments, they gotta get paid. You know,
Mhm.
um, therapists, they gotta get paid. We gotta have some people. I'm just saying, it's just the capitalistic society. So
Mhm.
you just gotta figure out what's best for you and your kids.
Mhm.
And if it were me, if I had the decision, hey, look, go to the community, go here, go do this donations and fundraisers and all that, and or make sure you got the best for your kids, and then that's positioning yourself to where you can get into a relationship where y'all can work as a team and give your kids the life that you want them to have. I
Mhm.
would take that option over going back to any community
Mm.
because I think the kids need that prime focus. Yeah, I got
Oh
2.
yeah.
I got 2 kids. Somebody asked me to come out here and coach, help coach the middle school
Mhm.
team in the community I live in, at the school,
Mhm.
middle school. And bad as I want to because I was a ball player,
Mhm.
I know that if I do that, then I gotta take away time from my 1-year-old and my
Mhm.
2-month-old,
Mm.
and I ain't about to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know that's something
Yeah.
for the community and the boys might be able to use me, but
Right.
I gotta hammer mines down at home first. Then maybe
Yeah.
I can go out and do that, but once they get old enough, I might be able to help coach them. But
Yeah.
it's a choice, and that's your choice, and there's nothing wrong with it, but
Yeah.
just try to think about it.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you got any more questions, let me
Mhm.
know, and this was a good live.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think so.
I'm gonna be cutting up some clips. You know how to find the channel and all that, right?
Yeah, I think so. If not, I'll like reach out to you
You
so
could
you
just
can.
go on a page and just click one of those videos that take you right
Oh,
to it.
okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Alright,
I
so
thought you had it like hidden somewhere, but yeah,
no,
if it's
I don't
that, yeah.
no, can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. But, if you don't have any more questions, I got a Facebook community group that I've been building. I kinda been slacking off on it because I haven't been doing a lot of lives, but there's a few
Okay.
people it basically involved the women that has been on the show, that's been in the live show,
Oh,
and if
cool.
they wanna, like, communicate in there, they can, but the more lives I do and the more content I bring out,
Yeah.
obviously, the bigger the group is gonna grow to a point
Mhm.
where it'll be some really useful conversations going in. Maybe we can do panels. Like, I'm gonna set up a conversation with women who've already been on this show, so
Oh,
where we
okay.
can talk about these topics together and see how 'cause a lot of y'all got different perspectives. It's very
Yeah.
interesting to see that a lot of men and a lot of people out here are painting women with the same brush and saying that they all this and they all that. But then when
Right.
you sit down with each individual, you start to see
Very
different things.
complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's
Yeah.
kinda unfair that that's going on. That's the reason why I wanted to have this show to be able to dial in specifically person by person to see what their perspective was.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome because you do ask very, very, detailed and situational based questions. So that has to bring out the true answer for the people. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're doing a great job. I'm excited. I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to be on the show too,
Oh yeah,
and
no
just put
doubt.
myself out there.
There you go, man. You got hey, listen, we gonna get you there. And if you want to be a creator, you guys hit me offline. I can show you the way.
All right.
All right. All right. That's nothing else. That's it, man. I appreciate everybody who came. This is Darwin and Lynn. Lynn, this is Love Costs. And just talking about modern dating standards for dating single moms. Appreciate everybody who pulled up. Appreciate everybody who's still watching to the end. We'll see y'all on the next one.